And while I was working today, the thought came across my mind, are we living the American dream or the American nightmare? Come on, dog. Load up. Come on, load up. Good boy. Come on, Solo. Load up. Come on, load up, boy. Good boy. It's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. It's been a long day on the farm today. Been getting a lot of work done. Haven't been doing a lot of talking on the video, but I've been grinding. Down here by myself. Don't have the wife and kids with me today. They're at home doing homeschool. And while I was working today, the thought came across my mind: are we living the American dream or the American nightmare? You know, because they try to sell us this American dream, you know, where we, go to school, get a degree, buy a house, get into a 30-year mortgage, get our dream job, dream house, dream family. And a lot of times, you know, we're miserable and life is terrible, you know, because we're in so much debt and we have so much pressure on us that we really can't enjoy life and enjoy ourselves and enjoy our family. And the thing is, you know, that American nightmare, you know, me and my family, we were living that American nightmare ourselves, thinking that we were living the American dream, because my wife and I, we both had, you know, full-time jobs, you know, house, kids, you know, and things like that. And, you know, we're doing ministry and all those type of things. But at the end of the day, we really were miserable because, you know, we really didn't have time to spend with each other, you know, time to spend with our kids. Our kids spent most of the day at daycare, you know, and I would drop them off in the morning before I went to work. And my wife, she would pick them up, you know, when she got off work, because she got off earlier than me. And I would end up getting off, you know, I would go to work when the sun came up and get off work when the sun came down. And so it was just, you know, and by the time I got home, I was so tired and exhausted and just not fulfilled, because understand me, I'm tired and exhausted right now, you know, from doing what I'm doing now. But I'm fulfilled at the same time, because, you know, most of the time I'm able to do this with my family. You know, my boys, my kids, they're not at daycare all day. And daycare is not raising them. You know, we get the opportunity to raise our kids and teach them, you know, spiritual principles and spiritual disciplines, and, you know, they're not being polluted by the world. You know, and we know what they're learning. We know what, you know, it's kind of the same concept with our animals. You know, we raise animals ourselves because we want to know what they're eating, so we can know what we're eating. You know, we don't know what we're ingesting when we, you know, butcher them. And it's the same way with our kids, you know, in our family. You know, I want to know what my kids are learning and ingesting. And in a short amount of time that my kids were in public school, you know, I was very, you know, unsatisfied with the things that they were learning, and just the whole setup. You know, I was one of them grumpy parents where I was at the school fussing and, you know, yeah, but all that stuff. But yeah, it's just, you know, it's just we have to ask ourselves that question, like, which American, you know, are we living the American dream or the American nightmare? You know, have we been sold this false sense of happiness, you know, by the world and by the system of the world? And do we need to make a change? You know, and my family and myself, we chose to make a change. You know, we don't make as much money as we used to, you know, because we made those changes, but we save a lot of money, and we're more in control of our life, you know, because just like I was just welding. I remember I used to sit at welding shops for 2-3 hours, you know, when me and my dad had our own business doing bush hogging, you know, getting that same stuff done. And now I'm able to do those things myself. You know, I remember when, you know, we would get a flat tire, and because I didn't have time to plug a tire, I would sit at the tire shop for an hour. But in my mind, you know, I was saving time by sitting at the tire shop for all that time, you know. But doing it myself, plugging a tire only takes 5 minutes, like not even that long sometimes. Sometimes you can do it while it's still on the rim, or on the car or the truck or the tractor or whatever it is. But it's just so amazing to have escaped the nightmare, the American nightmare that was sold to us as the American dream, because I've seen, you know, my people that were before me and people around me, you know, falling victim to that American nightmare, thinking that they're happy and thinking that they're fulfilled. But you know, my wife and I, my family and I, we get a true sense now of just peace and tranquility and fulfillment, you know, from the lifestyle that we're living now. And you know, things go a whole lot slower, and we're so disconnected from the world now. You know, it's a beautiful thing. And sometimes it's challenging, you know, just like, you know, things we're doing now, like restoring the resurrection cabin, like having to fix the bush hog and having to do it all, you know, on our own. But living this, you know, a lot of people say self-sufficient, but we call it grace-sufficient, because there's nothing selfish about what we're trying to accomplish. But living this grace-sufficient lifestyle is just so much better. Now, you have to do a lot of things on your own now. You know, you can't depend on other people and, you know, things like that to, you know, get the things done that need to be done. You have to learn and grow and allow yourself to be challenged in order to live this lifestyle. You know, I didn't know how to weld. You know, so many other things like castrating pigs and, man, just so much, like doing fencing and, you know, building carpentry and electrical and plugging tires and what else? Roofing. I hate heights. I hate getting on top of stuff up high, climbing ladders. But I have to get up there now and clean out the chimney for the wood burning stove, and I have to get up there and I have to patch a roof, and I had to do all those things on my own. I can't just pay somebody to do all those things now, since we're living this lifestyle. And but it's a beautiful thing, and we're being stretched. We're learning, we're growing, and we're even more dependent upon God now than we were back then. So it's a beautiful thing. But that's the question I just wanted to ask. It was on my mind. Are we living the American dream, or have we been sold this false sense of happiness, and are we living the American nightmare? I think each person has to, ask themselves that question, and ask themselves, like, are you happy with a 30-year mortgage? Are you happy with car notes and, the big house and small land? Or do you think that you'll be more happy with a small house and big land? Because that's, just the difference. It's like, do you want a big house and a quarter-acre lot, where you're stacked in one neighborhood in a subdivision with a HOA and all those type things? Or do you want a small house with acres and acres and acres and peace and quiet, to where you can, just sense the peace of God, But yeah, it's a beautiful thing. And I guess I'm gonna go ahead and get all my welder stuff packed up. I might go ahead and load the generator up on the trailer and pull the trailer home with the van, because I think I want to do some welding on this trailer as well. But that's gonna be it for today, y'all. I'm tired. I'm ready to get home. Got about an hour drive home. But it's I.A.G Farms. It's all about God. We'll see y'all in the next one.